So good day, ma'am. My name is Princess Ibsiwa Binga, the reporter for week 17. Topic, the aspects of gene therapy. So here are the learning outcomes. So first, describe gene therapy in its various forms and assess the issues, potential benefits, and detriments to global health.
What is gene therapy? Medical science has detected many human diseases related to defective genes. These diseases are not curable by traditional methods like taking readily medicines. So, ang gene therapy is a potential method to either treat or cure genetic related human illnesses. So, human gene therapy was actually first realized in 1971 when the first recombinant DNA experiments were planned. It can simply first view as intersection foreign DNA into a patient's tissue that hope to successfully eradicate the targeted disease. It was actually inspired by the success of the recombinant DNA technology which occurred over last 20 years. Without a doubt, gene therapy is the most promising yet possible unfavorable medical field being studied.
So what are cells and genes? How do they interact? So the cells, as well as we all know, muna siya ang fundamental units of life nga nagatabang sa human body structure. So within sa atong cells is naadira ang thousand of genes. Si genes nagka-contain na siya og kanang instructions for making protein and enzymes crucial for function such as sa atong digestion, energy production, and growth. So as we all know, si cells is contain na siya og 46 chromosomes organized into 23 pairs. One pair of chromosomes nag-determine na siya sa atong gender. So in the female, we have 2X chromosomes, and while sa male naman, we have 1X and 1Y chromosomes. So in the third one, as you can see, mo na siya si gene. So si gene kay mo na siya ang segment of DNA. So here are the basic process. So there are several approaches to gene therapy, and these are the following according to Pfister 2017. So the first one is the replacement of mutated gene that causes disease with a healthy copy of the gene. So the example for this is a person with cystic fibrosis. So ang cystic fibrosis kay isa ka genetic disorder nga nakaapekto sa atong lungs, digestive system, and other organs. So they could receive gene therapy to replace their faulty CFTR or the cystic fibrosis transmembrane conductance regulator. So ang healthy gene kay mapadulong siya into the cells of the lungs, wherein it would produce the CFTR proteins na makatabang sa pag-alleviate sa symptoms of the disease. So the second one is the inactivation of a mutated gene that is functioning improperly. So ang example ani is ang person nga naka-experience of melanoma. So ang melanoma is a type of cancer na pwede mag-undergo og gene therapy para ma-inactive ang iyahang mutated BRAF gene. So kaning BRAF stands for BRAF Murine Sarcoma Viral Oncogene Homolog B. So, ang gene therapy would help to slow down or stop the growth of cancer cells. So, the third one is introducing a new gene into the body to help fight the disease. So, the example for this is a person with severe combined immunodeficiency or the SCID, also known as bubble boy disease. So, ang SCID is isa ka genetic disorder where affected individuals lack of a functional immune system, making them highly susceptible to infections. So, ang isadok approach ani sa para ma-treat ang SCID involves gene therapy. So, in this technique, a normal copy of the defective gene responsible for the SCID is introduced into the patient's stem cells, typically using a modified virus as a carrier or the vector. So these genetically modified stem cells are then infused back into the patient's body. So we have the two types of gene therapy. The first one is the somatic gene therapy and the second one is the germline gene therapy. So let's discuss first the somatic gene therapy. The somatic gene therapy involves the manipulation of genes in the cells that will be helpful to the patient but not inherited to the next generation. Why it cannot be inherited to the next generation? So the genetic changes made in somatic gene therapy are not passed on to the patient's offsprings because they do not affect the germline cells or the sperm cells or the egg cells or the DNA in those cells. So the second one is the germline gene therapy. It involves the genetic modification of germ cells or the origin cells that will pass on to the next generation. So why it can be passed on to the offspring? If you modified a gene in a sperm or egg cells through germline gene therapy, that modified gene can be passed on to the future generation when the modified cell participates in the fertilization and contributes to the offspring's genetic makeup. So the next one is the stem cell gene therapy. The stem cells are mother cells that have the potential to become any type of cell in the body. One of the main characteristics of stem cells is their ability to self-renew or multiply while maintaining the potential to develop into other types of cells. Stem cells can become cells of the blood, heart, bones, skin, muscles, and brain, among others. There are different sources of stem cells, but all types of stem cells have the same capacity to develop into multiple types of cells. The two sources of stem cells are the embryonic stem cells and the somatic stem cells. So the embryonic stem cells derive from a 4 or 5-day-old human embryo that is in the plasticity phase of development. The embryos are usually extras that have been created in IVF or the in vitro fertilization clinics where several eggs are fertilized in a test tube, then implanted into a woman, according to Krusta 2013. For example, they could differentiate into nerve cells, muscle cells, or heart cells during early stages of development. So the second one is the somatic stem cells. The somatic stem cells are cells that exist throughout the body after embryonic development and are found inside of different types of tissue. These stem cells have been found in tissues such as the brain, bone marrow, blood vessels, skeletal muscles, skin, and the liver. So they remain in non-dividing state for years until activated by disease or tissue injury. These stem cells can divide or self-renew indefinitely, enabling them to generate a range of cell types from the originating organ or even regenerate the entire original organ. So we also have the two types of gene therapy mutation. The first one is the germline mutation and the second one is the somatic mutation. So the somatic mutation occur in a single body cell and cannot be inherited. Only tissues derived from mutated cell are affected. Whilst the germline mutation naman occur in gametes and can be passed on to offspring. Every cell in the entire organism will be affected. So as you can see in the picture, from the parental gametes, si germline kay mag-start ang iyahang mutation from the parental gamete, while si somatic naman is wala nag-start sa parental gametes. So from the embryo naman makita dira na nagdituwa lang nagsugod ang somatic mutation, while sa germline mutation naman is continuous siya. So in the third one sa organism, sa germline mutations is the entire organism carries the mutation while si somatic mutation naman is only the patch of affected area. So from the last one is the gametes of offspring. So as you can see in the germline mutations, half of gametes carry mutation while si somatic naman, none of gametes carry mutation. So again, systematic mutation kay cannot be inherited, dili ma-carry sa offspring niya ang mutation. While si germline naman is mapasa niya sa iyahang offspring or next generation. So we have the gene therapy techniques. So the first technique is the gene augmentation therapy. So this is used to treat diseases caused by a mutation that stops a gene from producing a functioning product such as protein. So this therapy adds DNA containing a functioning version of the lost gene back into the cell. So the new gene produces a functioning product at sufficient level to replace the protein that was originally missing. This is only successful if the effects of the disease are reversible or have not resulted in lasting damage to the body. So as you can see in the picture, so mao na siya ang gene augmentation therapy. So makita dira ang cell with non-functioning gene. So kani siya nag-refers na siya sa cell where a specific gene is mutated or defected. So kani siya nag-lead siya sa production of non-functional or insufficient amount of critical protein or RNA molecule. So the mutation in the gene hinders its ability to produce a functional product which can disrupt normal cellular processes and lead to disease symptoms. So the next one after ni cell with non-functioning gene is the functioning gene. So kani si functioning gene refers to a healthy or corrected version of defective gene. So mo ni siya is kanang si functional gene is introduced into the affected cells using viral vectors or other delivery mechanism in gene therapy. Once na siya sa cells, so kani siya is the functioning gene can produce a normal or insufficient amount of functional protein or RNA molecule that was missing or defected due to the original mutation. The next one is the cell functioning normally. So after the introduction of the functioning gene, the cell can resume its original or normal biological functions. The functional protein or RNA molecule produced by the introduced gene can perform its intended role within the cell. So conditional restoration of normal gene expression and function can alleviate symptoms of the genetic disorder and potentially reverse this disease progression. Ultimately, ang goal ng gene augmentation therapy is kanang matransform ang cells with a non-functioning gene into cells that function normally, thereby treating the underlying genetic cause of the disease. So the next one is si gene inhibition therapy. So kani siya is suitable for the treatment of infectious diseases, cancer, and inherited disease caused by appropriate gene activity. So the aim is to introduce gene whose product either inhibits that expression of another gene and interference with the activity of the product of another gene. So the basic of the gene therapy is to eliminate the activity of a gene that encourages the growth of disease-related cells. So for example, ani ang cancer. So sometimes the result of the overactivation of an oncogene gene which stimulates cell growth. So by eliminating the activity of that oncogene through gene inhibition therapy, it is possible to prevent further cell growth and stop the cancer in its track. So as you can see in the picture, makita dira ang kung unsa ning gene inhibition therapy. So dira makita sa cell containing multigene. So kanin siya is nag-refer siya sa cell where a specific gene is mutated or aberrant. So nagalid po ni siya sa production of defected protein or RNA molecule. So the mutation in the gene disrupts normal cellular process and may contribute to disease symptoms. So, in the next one is the blocking gene. So, as you can see, kaning blue is mo na siya ang blocking gene. And then kaning red is mo na siya ang faulty or defective na gene. So, using a carrier or the vector, mapasulod ni siya into to the cell. So, after masulod ni siya is, ang next one is kaning new gene product blocks faulty gene. So diri is makita ninyo sa picture kung kinsa ang faulty gene o ang blocking gene. So mo ning blue, ang blue mo na siya ang blocking gene and ang red is mo na siya ang faulty gene. So after ni new gene product blocks faulty gene is the cell functioning normally. By inhibiting the expression or activity of the faulty gene, the normal cell can restore normal cellular processes. So, kani siya is nag-lead siya sa reduction or elimination of disease symptoms associated with the malfunction gene. So, the blocking gene, nag-produce ni siya, nag-allow po ni siya sa cells na mag-function normally by mitigating the harmful effects of the faulty gene, promoting cellular health. The third technique is the killing of specific cells suitable for disease such as cancer that can be treated by destroying certain groups of cells. The aim is to insert DNA into a diseased cell that causes the cell to die. So this can be achieved in one or two ways. The first one is the inserted DNA contains a suicide gene that produces a highly toxic product which kills the disease cells. And the second one is the inserted DNA causes expression of a protein that marks the cells so that the disease cells are attacked by the body's natural immune system. And lastly is that it is essential with this method that the inserted DNA is targeted appropriately to avoid the death of cells that are functioning normally. So as you can see in the picture, makita dira ang killing of specific cells. So mo na siya ang cells. So the first one is mo na siya ang disease cells. So dira is isulod ning suicide cells. So kaning suicide cells is nagproduce na siya og toxic product which is kaning black naman is mo na siya ang disease cells na mamatay tungod sa suicide gene. So in the second one naman is mo na siya ang disease gene gihapon, and then next is ipasulod si marker gene using vector or carrier as the carrier rather. So in the third one is makita dira si marker proteins expressed on cell surface. So nasulod na siya sa cells. So the next one is makita dira ang immune system attack mark cells. So kaning immune system gi-attack daw ang mark cells which is kung naa sa gawas kaning makita ninyo na mura siya naka-round siya sa cells. So the last one is na mo na siya ang disease cells dies. So matay na ang katong disease cells. So how is DNA transfer done? A section of DNA gene containing instructions for making a useful protein is packaged within a vector, usually a virus, bacterium, or plasmid. So the vector acts as a vehicle to carry the new DNA into the cells of a patient with a genetic disease. Once inside the cells of the patient, the DNA or the gene is expressed by the cell's normal machinery, leading to production of the therapeutic protein and treatment of the patient's disease. So makita gyapon dira sa picture kung unsaon pagsulod niya. The first one is mao ni siya ang kanang yellow na nasa taas, is mao na siya ang new gene. So ang gamiton para makasulod na siya is ang virus vector. So as we all know, daghan og type ang vector na siya viral and non-viral. So kaning virus vector is under ni siya sa viral vector. So pag masulod na siya sa viral as the carrier, is the next one is ang vector magbind sa to the cells. So kaning cells is mohina siya sulod sa ah, cystoplasm, and masulod na siya dira sa vector package interversicle. So pag masulod na siya is masunod na dayon si vesicle, mag-break siya down, i-release niya ang vector. So dira sa vesicle breaks down releasing vectors. So si vectors is katong nasa sulod sa sa vector nga si new gene is padulong siya dito sa kaning violet. So kani siyang violet is ma-injected na siya sa nucleus. So mo ni siya ang nucleus. So we also have the challenges of gene therapy. So as we all know, kaning gene therapy is not an easy process like taking readily medicine. So dili siya ingana kadali. So the first challenge is ang pag-deliver daw sa gene to the right place and switching it on. So it is crucial that the new gene reaches the right cell. So dili jud siya dali lang na way nga makita na to sa uban nga easy lang murag ingana pero dili na siya ingana kadali. And secondly is ang delivering sa gene into the wrong cell would be inefficient and could also cause health problems for the patient. So liman ka ilis din imong gene ug bag-o na pud, and wala ta kabalo basta mamali siya butang. And the third one is even once the right cells have targeted, the gene has to be turned on. Lastly, cells sometimes obstruct these processes by shutting down genes that are slowing unusual activity. So, ang second nga challenge daw sa gene therapy is ang avoiding the immune response. So the first one is the role of immune system is to fight off intruders. Sometimes new genes introduced by gene therapy are considered potentially harmful intruders. This can spark an immune response in the patient that could be harmful to them. Scientists therefore have the challenge of finding a way to deliver genes without the immune system noticing. This is usually by using vectors that are less likely to trigger an immune response. So the last challenge is the making sure the new genes doesn't disrupt the function of other gene. Ideally, a new gene introduced by gene therapy will integrate itself into genome of the patient and continue working for the rest of their lives. There is a risk that the new gene will insert itself into the path of another gene, disrupting its activity. This could have damaging effects. For example, if its interference with an important gene involved in regulating cell division, it could result in cancer. So again, ang example to ani daw kay interferes with an important gene involved in regulating cell division. So ang resulto ani is cancer. So we also have the cause of gene therapy. So as we all know, kaning gene therapy is dili lang siya barato na process sa pag-ayo sa isa ka sakit. So many genetic disorders can be targeted with gene therapy are extremely rare. Gene therapy therefore often requires an individual or case-by-case approach. This may effective but may also be expensive. So kung kinsa ra tong dato, mora siya maka-afford anin na way sa pag-ayo sa isa ka sakit. So overall, gene therapy shows promise in treating genetic disorder by addressing the underlying genetic causes. However, it also faces challenges regarding safety, effectiveness, and ethical concern. Overall, while promising, its potential and widespread are still being studied. So that's all for my reporting in week 17. Thank you and God bless us all.